Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing? This is Yvette. I am the credit plug. And guys, anytime that I'm coming to you with a video or I'm going live, I am here to inspire, to teach, to empower you with financial strategies, to help my parents. I love working with parents that's paying for college, helping them pay for college by increasing their cash flow, boosting credit scores, and minimizing their tax liability. So it's not any different today than any other day. I'm coming with you with some great information. We're actually going to be talking about our babies. Our babies, we love our babies, and as parents, oh my goodness, they're our life. That's We love them. So if you're a parent, definitely leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching me from. Let me know, how many kids you got, your ages of your kids. I know my daughter, she is actually in college. So I do work mainly with college parents, and we do have a private group where we share different money making tips, tips on how to improve your cash flow, as well as tips on how you can minimize your tax liability. Okay, so if you want that information is strolling at the bottom of the screen. So you can definitely check out the website, and it'll lead you to the Facebook group. It's free. Get in touch and you can definitely get some information. So, guys, I'm going to definitely jump right in because it is late, 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 late. But I'm still working, a regular job, and I have to fit everything around, my schedule. So it does change and vary. So I'm just making the adjustments as necessary. And I know, preferably, with the help of the Most High, I will get on a consistent time slot where I'm coming, bringing you this heat, and you can sit down, get a pencil, paper, take notes, because I'm giving you actually practical strategy steps that will, if applied, actually make a difference in your financial life and add value to your life. All right. So without further ado, I'm gonna get started because I'm not gonna be too long. But this is one you definitely want to get pencil paper, because I'm giving you information that will impact your children, no matter what age. Because finances is very important, and it's very important that we teach our children how to use credit cards and avoid certain mistakes that we may have made. So I'm gonna go ahead and minimize my screen and add on my whiteboard here. So I got my little new tool. So my little scene in the lamp. So we're gonna work with that as well. Let me try to make it a little bit bigger here so you guys are able to see it better. All right, all right. So we got that there. All right, there we go. There we go. All right. You can leave me a comment if you are not able to see it. Um, and if you leave me a comment, let me know you're not able to see it, then I will adjust. Okay. But we want to talk about teaching, the biggest mistakes parents make when teaching our teens, our children, about credit cards. We know that credit cards are very important, and everyone, is going to have access to it. And I know, with me having a college student, that was something that was big. Going off to college, turning 18, they're definitely, in the mail, sending all kinds of offers, trying to get, your student, your child, to apply for a credit card. And so it's very, very important that we have these conversations with our children prior to them applying to these credit cards, prior to them getting the credit cards. So once they have it, they'll know what to do with the credit card. Okay. So it's not going to be enough, so we have to actually tell them. So the biggest mistake that we actually make is we don't say anything. We don't teach them anything. They go out and they're lost. You know what I'm saying? We don't teach our kids about credit and credit cards. And not doing that is actually setting our children up for financial hardship. You know, think about it. When you graduated from school, I know when I graduated from school and you faced your first major financial decision, whether it was to get a credit card, um, whether to get a credit card or not, that was a decision you had to make. And I know when I was making those decisions, I didn't really have all the information I needed to make an educated decision. So, I feared credit cards. I feared having a credit card. So I stayed away from as long as possible. I just didn't, I was scared. I was scared that, they were bad. And because I didn't have the information, correct financial information, I actually, I just stayed away from. So when I actually did get my first credit card, and I didn't get my first credit card, guys, until I was in my 30s, and that was crazy. Because I was, like I said, scared. But once I got my first credit card, I made the mistake that a lot of us make. I was abusing the card. I was using it, buying stuff I didn't even need, just making all kinds of financial mistakes, paying the bill late, not realizing how that was affecting my credit score. And so my credit score plummeted. It went down. I was in like the low 500s, wondering what? I mean, oh my goodness, how did this happen? And then when it was time for me to start applying, so I'm sorry, not applying, but going to try to, applying for loans to get a car, it was my interest rates was high because I abused my credit card, not knowing how that affected my credit score. So that was very, very important, you know. So as the world becomes more complicated, okay, we have a responsibility to guide our children the best we can. It wasn't until I learned these strategies that I'm going to share with you, I was able to get out of credit card debt, and then be able to teach my child. And now my daughter sits at a 750 credit score. And I don't say that to impress you. I say that to impress upon you that it is possible. She's 20 years old. She has a 750 credit score, and she understands credit and how to, keep building it and maintain it. And that's what I want, for you and your children as well. Now, um, one of the things, trying subjects to teach kids is about how to appropriately manage money. I mean, that's hard. I mean, for a lot of us, we're still trying to learn how to manage money and, stay on a set budget and make sure that we're not overspending and spending more than we have, because that's keeping us in a place where we're overusing and abusing our credit cards. Okay. Now, teenagers develop a great interest in the credit card. Oh my goodness. Your child, and they maybe start younger than that, but I know as a teenager, my daughter, was a credit card. She just put it on your credit card, just put it on your credit card, just do, and she became that interest in credit cards. So that makes it a great age, a great time to start introducing credit cards and introducing proper financial management skills and how you can properly manage your money. And credit cards are not to be taken lightly at any age, but especially, as a teenager. Now, how do you educate your teens about the use of credit cards? Do you share some ways in the chat that you actually, teach your children about credit cards? I know there's a lot of other people on here that would probably love to hear your tips as well on how you teach other, your teens about credit cards, and we can share with each other. Now, these strategies will help them learn to use credit cards responsibly. So that's what I'm suggesting. You may want to, pull up a pen, paper. There's only 4, so I'm definitely not going to be too long, but I did want to go over these with you here. Now, ask your child. You want to ask your child, where will you get the money from? If they keep, insisting they want a credit card, they want a credit card. Okay, that's a conversation we can have. But the first question we need to ask and come up with is, okay, so where's the money going to come from that you're going to actually pay? You need to insist that your child know exactly where they're going to get the money to pay the credit card charge before they charge anything. That's important. And an action step, create a plan with your child on how the bill will be paid each and every month. Create that plan. Make sure you set clear boundaries and explain the importance of payment history and how that actually affects the credit score, and how then the credit score affects interest rates and how you're able to get other cards and credit increases. So when you start to open up and talk to your child about this information, let them know, explain the 5 factors of credit and how paying that credit card on time every time will affect your score. And that way you're going to start teaching them good habits of, number one, education, for them to know, and then once they know, they can start applying the information that you're giving them, because you're set those clear boundaries. They know exactly, this is the credit card, this is the rules are behind it, you're going to have to pay it, and this is the plan that we have created together to make sure this credit card is paid each and every month. So ask them where the money is coming from and actually listen and create a plan to make sure that bill gets paid each and every month before they even make that first charge. Okay. That's very, very important. All right. You want to encourage responsibility, because the goal is we want to raise financially responsible adults, to where when they leave you, they're no longer under your care. They out in this, whatever they say, big bad world. I don't say big bad world. When they're out in this world to live their life, to start their experiences, they need to know this information. So having that knowledge and making them responsible will help them. With that knowledge, with great power comes responsibility. So they have a responsibility now, because now they have this credit card. So you emphasize and you encourage that responsibility. You explain to them how they are responsible of paying for that bill on time. And not only in addition, they're required to pay off their credit card balance within 30 days. 30 days. You want to emphasize the point of, and get them in the habit of paying that credit card off 30 days each and every month, because you want to explain how interest works. You want to explain how late fee works. Interest, to me, if you are not paying off your credit card balance each and every month, you are throwing away your money seeds. And until we start thinking of money as seeds, we're going to continuously be in this same cycle where we're throwing away our money seeds. The main purpose of money, the number one purpose of money, is to grow other money. And when you're not paying your bills on time and you are racking up late fees and interest charges, you are throwing away money seeds that could make you money. So you're losing money, you're wasting money, you're throwing away money, okay? So we have to realize that. So you need to discuss how interest charges work, so they will know, and that will help them to be more responsible in actually using the card, and then take pride in when they pay it off, because they know they're not paying extra. They're not paying extra fees. They're not throwing money away. Okay. And if you have money to throw away, you can definitely throw in my way, right? So you want to listen. And make sure this is a conversation. This is not a lecture. This is not a lecture that you're saying you do. No, you want to have a conversation with your child, because you want them to understand the information you're telling them, because this is one of the most important lessons that you will teach them in their life, that they will use for the rest of their life. This is one of those lifelong lessons that they need. So you need to take the time to actually listen to your teen and how they take part in the conversation, because how they're taking part in the conversation will help you determine your child's maturity level. And sometimes your child, if you determine your teen requires more maturity or understanding of information, then don't give them a card. Explain to them how you arrived at that situation, that decision, so that they can know and what they would need to do to prove to you that they're mature enough to have a card. So you're empowering them. You're giving them ways so they can actually earn a credit card by proving them to be responsible. So that's helping them to become a responsible adult. That's a life lesson. Hope you're tracking that, guys. Okay. Number 3, you want to start considering with a limited balance credit card, like about a card that has like a limited balance. Like you have your child save money until a certain amount accumulates, like say $100. They're able to save $100. Then accompany them to the bank, um, or store, and get a prepaid card for $100. So, or either you can do a secure credit card for $100. There's a lot of ways to do that, but that is a strategy that you can actually use to help your child to see that, you know what, even you paid for the card with your own money, it's still a good idea. You still want to pay your bill off, and you still don't want to buy things that you don't need, but that will let them see that, you know what, I can, number one, save money. And when I'm exchanging money for credit. It's not like this card is limitless and it doesn't have a balance, and you can just go crazy. No, this is the money that I saved. Now that I can actually use this money, but I saved it. So that's another powerful lesson that you're teaching your child, and that they will need, for the remainder of their life. Def is you just want to make sure they're stretching the use of that card. You don't want them to put that $100 on there and they go, buy $100 purse. Let them know the importance of credit and how to use it. Okay. Now, a benefit of this method is your child has saved the money up front before actually charging the items. That is a benefit, okay? They can understand that credit card balance is tangible, with their hard-earned money. So that's a benefit of it. But this does actually have a downside as well. The downside of this method, that it may not teach your child the responsibility of only charging what they can pay off within a month. Because depending on how long it took them to save that $100, if they, save $100, get their card, then they would have to either, wait that long period of time to save another $100 before they can actually continuously use it. So it's not teaching them, to be able to use the card and pay it off. So, it does have that its pros and cons with this particular method, but you speak with your team, talk to your child, have the discussion, have the conversation, and then you guys can figure out together what will be the best way that, you guys can go about, learning and actually applying the strategies. Okay. You could also provide a credit card to replace the weekly allowance. If you give your child an allowance, consider converting their allowance to a monthly credit card balance. This method does allow them to learn about credit card management. Just consider this example. Now, if you normally pay your child $30 weekly allowance, then now you're telling them now you're going to provide them with a credit card. Rather than the $30 weekly, you explain that they can charge up to $120 a month. That's 4 weeks times 30 equals 120. Now, as you pay up to that monthly amount to cover their credit card purchases. So if you give your child an allowance, $30, you give them a credit card with $120 on it, they can charge up to that amount. You're paying that credit card balance. Now, with this, you definitely have to set your boundaries, like we were saying before. Set boundaries, set the clear boundaries for your child, set the rules up front so there's no surprises later. Okay. You want to stress that if they charge over $120, they must come up with the difference to pay off any balance over the $120 when the statement arrives. Okay, you have to stress that now. Now, if they charge over that $120 for the month and are unable to come up with the difference, they must surrender the credit card until they pay you the difference owed. Okay, now, so a lot of us that may be hard, but we have to teach our children financial responsibility. When we learn financial literacy, we can teach our children financial responsibility. And that is the key. That is what we want to do to be able to have financially responsible adults. Okay. Now, you will want to go ahead and pay off any balance to avoid any fees, of course. Now, if they charge up the card and they can't pay that, you're gonna get the card from them. They're not even gonna pay it, and within that 30 days, you still pay the credit card, but credit card bills, because payment history matters. Okay, guys, payment history matters. But using this method does teach your child how to handle credit cards. And it's helpful. It's a helpful lesson in managing money with limited funds. Okay. Your child learns to limit spending and to stay within their means. And that is a very powerful lesson. If you can teach your child how to spend and live within their means, then you are teaching them a financial literacy principle that will help them to become rich. Because believe it or not, 95% of Americans are not spending and living within their means, and we're living paycheck to paycheck. It's we're running out of money before the month. So you being able to teach your child how to spend within their means is a powerful financial tool. And I hope you took notes and took that down, because that's very powerful. Now, teaching teens how to handle credit cards, it can be challenging. It really can. The good news is that if you start early and teach them early how to earn, save, and spend money, they will easily progress to understanding the above concepts with your help and guidance. Okay. Then you want to praise your team's efforts. You want to praise your kids' efforts when they're managing finances and credit card issues well. When they pay that bill on time, when they pay that bill well, you want to cheer them. You want to give them praise. You want to let them know that they are doing a great job. So you build that confidence for that future when you teach them how to handle credit cards wisely. Okay. You want to build their confidence. It is awesome to know and feel like you're doing a good job. Our children want to make us proud. Our children want to do the best they can to make their parents proud. I know I want to make my parents proud. Well, I want to. I want to be the apple of my parents' eye. So you want to, give them that praise and let them know that they're doing a good job, and teaching them these strategies, or coming up with one of these strategies to teach your children, your child, your kids, your teenagers, our young adults, to how to use credit cards responsibly, is a very powerful lesson that they'll be able to take for the rest of their life and use it. Okay, guys. Now, if you like content like this, if you like information like this, we definitely have a private Facebook group where we're in there, parents paying for college, and we're teaching financial strategies. We're teaching you how to increase your cash flow. We're teaching you how to boost your credit. We're teaching you strategies that you can learn and pass on to your children to create financially responsible adults. Okay. So I did want to share that with you. I definitely appreciate you guys stopping through. I know you could be anywhere in the world, but you decide to spend a couple moments with me, and your girl appreciate it. Again, my name is Yvette. I am the Bling Plug, and I bid you a good night. Bye, guys.